Good morning friends. Welcome in this class. This video is for class 7th, subject Social Science. Today we are going to start Geography chapter 5, Water. It is the first lecture of this chapter, and in today's lecture we will discuss about the topics like water, water cycle, distribution of water and major oceans. So let's start today's discussion. Yes friends, as we know, Earth is the only planet in our solar system that has the necessary elements to sustain life. So which are necessary elements, or which elements are necessary to sustain life, to live life, like air, water and soil. Okay, means we can't think about our life without these elements. So each of these elements forms its own realms or areas, spheres, so in which it is found. So the sphere in which water is found is called hydrosphere. Okay, and it covers nearly 70% of the Earth's surface. So friends, now we will discuss about the water. What is water? Actually, water is an inorganic, transparent, tasteless, odorless and nearly colorless chemical substance. Water is the most valuable asset and inexhaustible compound on the Earth's surface, covering in excess of 70% of the planet. Yes friends, that is the most valuable asset. Okay, because we can't think of our life without water. Means all living beings, okay, they need water for survival, like human beings, animals and even plants also need water for their survival or life. And it is inexhaustible source also, means water can't be water can't be increased or decreased on the Earth's surface. Okay, it is renewable resource and it is renewed with the water cycle process. And as we know that 70% of the Earth planet is covered with water. That's why Earth is also known as blue planet. Okay, water exists in 3 states in nature. These are liquid, solid and gas. Okay, yes. Now we will discuss about the distribution of water. Yes friends, the distribution of water on the Earth's surface is extremely uneven. Yes, means like other natural resources like forest, soil, so water is also not found in equal amount on all parts of the Earth. Okay, some areas are there where there is a plenty of water. Okay, means great source of water are found on that. And in some areas like near the poles, okay, or in desert area, means these areas have shortage of water. Okay, so means water is not distributed equally on the Earth's surface. Only 3% of water on the surface is fresh. The remaining 97% resides in the oceans. Yes friends, the amount of water which is found on the Earth's surface, so out of this 97% water is found in large water bodies like oceans and sea. Okay, means as we know that the water which is found in oceans and sea, that is saline water, means salty in taste, and this water is not suitable for the consumptions of living beings. Okay, and so only 3% water is found in the fresh form. Okay, means which can be used to fulfill our daily needs. Okay, and the amount of this fresh water, so as I told that only 3% is there, and out of this 3%, okay, 69 found in the glaciers, okay, and 30% underground water, and less than 1 is located in lakes, river and swamps. Okay, means only 1% water is accessible, is found on the Earth's surface, and which we can use to fulfill our daily needs. Okay, now I will describe it with the help of this diagram. Yes friends, first give a look on the top of the diagram. So as we see that out of the 100%, 97% water is found in the ocean form, okay, and around 70 or 69% that is found in the ice cap or glaciers. 20% underground water, okay, and in which, so we see that only 1% water is there which is accessible surface fresh water, means only 1% water is accessible or found on the surface of the earth, okay, and the main sources of this accessible surface fresh water like rivers, lakes, okay. So beta, as we know that the water which we use to fulfill our daily needs, means the water which is suitable for consumption, that is found in very less amount. So we should not waste water and we use it very carefully. Understood? And the water is containing very less quantity of dissolved salt is known as fresh water. So what do you know about the fresh water? Means actually the water which contains very less quantity of dissolved salt, that is known as fresh water, okay. And although 2/3 of the earth's surface is covered with water, but as I told that very little percentage of it is fresh. As already we have discussed that only 3% total water available is fresh water, and which is found in rivers and lakes. And fresh water is also found in the form of surface water, groundwater and water vapor in the atmosphere, and mostly it is found in the forms of precipitations like rain and snow, okay. And fresh water is required for like various purposes like drinking, sanitations, agriculture, transport, and like electricity generation. So beta, it is also actually natural habitat for various plants and animals. And the second type of water which we have discussed, that is salty water and saline water. So water containing large amount of dissolved salt is called saline water. So beta, here we have discussed about the two forms of water. First is fresh water, which I told that the water which contains very less quantity of dissolved salt is known as fresh water, and what is saline water or salty water means the water containing a large amount of dissolved salt is known as saline water, and it is found in oceans and sea. And the common salt which found in the saline water are sodium chloride, okay, magnesium chloride and calcium sulfate, okay. And the salinity of the oceans water depends on a large number of factors like rate of evaporation, amount of precipitations, atmospheric pressure, direction of wind, movement of the sea water, and the amount of fresh added to the ocean by river. Actually these are not given in your chapter, means these are the not these topics are not the part of your syllabus, okay. So now beta, we will discuss about the distribution of water, okay. Here I have shown you that percentage of the water which are found in oceans and other water bodies, okay. As we have discussed, 97% saline water is there and which is found in the ocean. Fresh water 2%, that is ice cap, 0.68 groundwater, 0.009 freshwater lakes, 0.009 in that inland seas and salt lakes, and 0.0019 found in the atmosphere, and 0.0001 river water, fresh water, okay. Now sources of fresh water, okay. Like we get the water from different water bodies like oceans, rivers, ponds, lakes, streams, but that lakes and rivers, these are the main source of fresh water, okay. Now here I have shown you the map, okay, in which it is shown the you can see different water bodies which are located on the world, okay. In the world, like 5 oceans are there: Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, okay, Arctic Ocean and Southern Ocean, or that is Atlantic Oceans. Got it, beta? Yes, and in which many other you can see rivers and lakes are also found, like South America, Amazon River is there, Mississippi in the North America, okay, and that is Congo River, which is found in Africa, Caspian Sea, Black Sea. So many water bodies are there in the world. Now, water cycle. Yes friends, as we know, the amount of water can't be decreased or increased. What is the reason behind it? That is water cycle. So, what do you mean by the water cycle? Yes friends, actually water cycle means you can say the conversion of water from one form to another brings about circulation of water in nature. Okay, means that you can say a vast quantity of water evaporates, okay, from the oceans into the atmosphere and then circulates over the land in the form of clouds and fall on the ground in the form of rain, snow, hail or sleet. So this never ending circulation of the earth's water is known as water cycle or hydrological cycle, means which involves evaporation, transpiration, condensations, precipitations and the surface runoff. Okay, now I will discuss or I will tell you how the water cycle works. Okay, so beta understood what do you mean by the water cycle? Means the continuous movement of water from ocean, sea, river and other water bodies to the atmosphere, to the land and back to the ocean is known as hydrological cycle or the water cycle. So you can see in the diagram also, means water in the ocean and sea, lakes, ponds, rivers and soils get heated up by the sun and turns to water vapor through evaporation. Understood the first process? What is the first process of the water cycles? Means due to the heat of the sun, okay, the water which is found in ocean, sea, lake, ponds, river, okay, it turns into the water vapor, okay, and this process is known as evaporation. So the first process is evaporation. Understood? And the leaves in plants also lose some water through the process of transpirations. Okay, water vapor being lighter on reaching the higher altitude cools down and condenses to form clouds. Okay, means when during the evaporation process, so this moistures, okay, these water vapors, when these water vapors, means these water vapors are lighter, and when these water vapors, okay, reaching the higher altitude, so it becomes cool, means it cools down and they condenses, or means in this way they form the clouds. Okay, and then these clouds, when these clouds loaded with water vapors change to water droplets. Okay, so in means you can say other words, condensations takes place and waters comes down on the earth in the various form of precipitations like rain, snow, hail, fog. Okay, so in this way again this moisture or this droplets of the water come on the reach on the earth's surface, and when rain falls, water that reaches the earth's surface may seep into the ground, okay, replenishing the groundwater, and some of it may run off and the land filling up rivers and streams, okay, and this bringing back to the lost water from the water bodies. So this is the way, or means you can say this circulation process of water, okay, continues in nature and it forms water cycle. Understood about it? Yes. Now here I have given the definition of water cycle and all the process. Means the process by which water changes its form and circulates between oceans, atmosphere and land is known as water cycle. Next is there are four main stages in the water cycle. They are evaporation, condensations, precipitations and collections. So what is evaporation? Already we have discussed about it. This is when warmth from the sun causes water from oceans, lakes, streams, ice and soils to rise into the air and turn into the water vapor. Water vapors droplets join together to make clouds. This is when water vapors in the air cool down and turn back into liquid water. Precipitation, this is when water falls from clouds in the sky. And collection, this is when water then falls from the clouds as rain, snow, hail or sleet, collects into oceans, rivers, lake, streams. Most will that infiltrate or soak into the ground and will collect as underground water. So this is the complete water cycle process. Understood? So simple is there beta. First, due to the sun heat, that the water which is found in the oceans and sea, okay, get heated, okay, and change into the moisture, okay, water vapors. These water vapors, okay, they are lighter and reaches on the high altitude, and as we know, as we go higher and higher, the temperature decreases. So when this vapor reaches in the cool atmosphere, then they condense and make clouds, okay, and when these clouds overloaded, so again the waters come on the earth's surface in the form of rainfall, and it collected into the river, ocean and different water bodies. So this is a simple cycle, water cycle process. Okay, now in this chapter actually our main focus on the large water bodies, ocean. Okay, so what is oceans? Means large water bodies are known as oceans. So the ocean is a large water body that covers about 70% of the earth's surface. It is important source of moisture in the atmosphere, and it provides habitations of the marine plants and animals. Marine plants and animals means the plants which live or survive in water. Okay. Ocean's floor have large deposit of minerals, and their water contains dissolved salt. Okay, they provide social and economic goods and services. Understood? So these are the importance of oceans. Ki how are ocean important to us? Means oceans cover 70% of the earth's surface, and they support an incredible amount and variety of plants and animals. They are one of the largest carbon reservoirs of the world. They regulate the earth's temperature and climates. And ocean floors have large deposit of minerals, and their water contains dissolved. And oceans provide social and economic goods and services, like for example, like coastal and marine tourism. International seaborne trade is also carried through the oceans, as it is the cheaper and easier to transport goods through oceans or through water bodies. Understood, friends? Now we will have a brief discussions about the major oceans. Okay, friends, actually beta, means you can say an ocean is a continuous body of water, but oceanographers, okay, have divided into 4 major divisions, namely Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean and Arctic Ocean. And this one, 5th one is Southern and Antarctic Ocean. Actually, this is the water body where all ocean merge, but some that oceanographers give a different name, or the 5th ocean, that is known as Southern or Antarctic Ocean. Okay, now we will have a brief discussion about this. Like first is Pacific Ocean, that is the largest ocean and extending from the Antarctic region in the south to Arctic in the north, and it lies between Asia and Australia in the west, North and South America in the east. And actually the equator divides the Pacific Ocean into North Pacific Ocean and South Pacific Ocean. Understood? Yes. And next one is there, that is Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean is shaped like the letter S. It is about half of the size of the Pacific Ocean, and it is the second largest ocean in the world. Europe and Africa lie on its eastern side, while North and South America lie on its western side. In the north, it stretches up to the Arctic Circle, and in the south, and it merges with the Pacific and Indian Ocean. Okay, next one is there, Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is the warmest and the 3rd largest ocean in the world, and actually it is almost triangular in shape. It is the only ocean of the world to be named after a country. Understood? And the Indian Ocean is bound by Iran, Pakistan, India and Bangladesh in north. Okay. Now about the Arctic Ocean. Yes friends, Arctic Ocean is the smallest ocean in the world. It is mostly surrounded by land. It is situated around the North Pole and extends up to the Arctic Circle. The northern part of Asia, Europe and North America surround it. Okay, it is frozen in the winter, while in summer the ice in it melts and float in the form of icebergs. Now about the Southern Ocean, and the other name is Antarctic Ocean. Okay, Southern Ocean or the Antarctic Ocean surrounds the continent of Antarctica. The Pacific, Atlantic, Indian Ocean and the tributary sea surrounding Antarctica merge, all water bodies merge into it. It is the only ocean that stretches around the world. It is the largest than the Arctic Ocean. Got it? Yes. Now, today's homework. Okay, students. So, in today's lecture, we have discussed about the large water bodies, oceans, and about the water cycle, hydrological. In next lecture, we will discuss about the movements of oceans. Got it? Okay. Now note down your homework. You have to write the answer of this question in your fair notebook, and after completion it, you submit it to on my email ID. So in which the first question is there, what are 5 divisions of oceans? So already we have discussed about the 5 names or 5 types of oceans. What is precipitations? About it we have discussed in water cycle process. Okay. What is water cycle process? You have to explain it in detail. So all stages of water cycle. Next, write about the distribution of water across the surface of the earth. This I have explained with the help of diagram also. So you have to mention here distribution of water across the surface of the earth. And last question, how are oceans important to us? So understood, friends? So in this way, our today's lecture is completed. Tomorrow we will meet again with the next lecture of this chapter. Thank you.